I am a mountain, I am a tall tree, oh, I am a swift wind, sweeping the country. I am a river, down in the valley, oh, I am a vision, and I can see clearly. If anybody asks you who I am, just stand up tall, look them in the face and say, I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I made it, I'm the world's greatest. And I'm that little bit of hope when my back's against the ropes. I can feel it, I'm the world's greatest. The world's greatest, Joe. The world's greatest. Forever. I am a giant, I am an eagle, oh, I am a lion down in the jungle. I am a marching band, I am the people, oh, I am a helping hand, I am a hero. If anybody asks you who I am, just stand up tall, look them in the face and say, I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I made it, I'm the world's greatest. And I'm that little bit of hope when my back's up against the ropes. I can feel it, I'm the world's greatest. In the ring of life I'll reign love, I will reign, and the world will notice a king. Oh yeah, yeah. This darkness I'll shine a light, shine a light, and mirrors of success reflect in me. I made it, I'm the world's greatest. I'm that little bit, I'm that little bit. Oh yeah, I can feel it, feel it. I'm the world's greatest. Whoa, I'm that star up in the sky. Oh yes I am. I done made it. I'm the world's greatest. And I'm that little bit of hope, yeah. Oh, when my back's against the wall, I could feel I'm the world's greatest. I saw the light and that star up in the tunnel. I'm that mountain peak, even the prodigal at the end of the rainbow. I'm the world's greatest. And faith was right there. I'm that little bit of fool, yeah. My back's against the locked doors. Now I can just walk. I'm the world's greatest. Say it's the greatest. It's the greatest. Can you feel it? Say the greatest, yeah. Can you feel it? Yeah. I saw the light at the end of the tunnel.
The higher you build your barriers, the taller I become. The farther you take my rights away, the faster I will run. You can deny me, you can decide to turn your face away. No matter, 'cause there's something inside so strong. I know that I can make it. Though you're doing me wrong so long, thought that my pride was gone. Oh no, there's something inside so strong. Whoa, whoa, something inside so strong. The more you refuse to hear my voice, the louder I will sing. You hide behind walls of Jericho, your lies will come tumbling. Deny so brightly it will blind you, because there's something inside so strong.
Good evening, good evening, good evening to you all, our lovely listeners and those watching on Facebook. Definitely there is something inside so strong.
So wrong. You thought that my pride.
It is always a great day and an opportunity to be alive, and I'm so glad. I thank God Almighty that I'm alive this very day. If you are listening on radio or watching live on Facebook, kindly know that this is Ttu Debates, a program initiated by GNUT Local Ambassador or the GNUT Administration for the 2020-2021 academic year in collaboration with the Writers and Debaters Club. This program comes your way every Tuesday evening between the hours of 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m.
Brothers and sisters, when they
And of course, like every other program is it's led by a host. I am your host for today, and my name is and has always been Theophilus Tete. And I'm having some great men in the studio here, as well as beautiful ladies in the studio here, who will be debating on emotion given.
something inside so strong. I know that I can make it. Though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no. There's something inside so strong. Whoa. There's something inside so strong. Whoa. There's something inside so strong. Something inside so strong. Something inside so strong. Know that I can make it. Though you're doing me wrong. You're doing me wrong. Something inside so strong. Something inside so strong. I know that I can make it. Though you're doing me wrong. So wrong. Something inside so strong. Something inside so strong. I know that I can make it. Though you're doing me wrong. So wrong. Something inside so strong. Something inside so strong. I know that I can make it. Though you're doing me wrong. The higher you build your barriers, the taller I become. The farther you
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, Theophilus Tete in the studio as your regular host. And then I have my co-host here, my beautiful co-host, Ms. Jacqueline. She's seated in the corner, and the way she's smiling, she's even contributing to the warm or the weather in this room. Like, she has this killing smile. In fact, I'm so blessed and then lucky to have her as a co-host. Obviously, or unfortunately, today she'll not be co-hosting, but then she'll be serving as an adjudicator or as a judge. All right, so the Writers and Debaters Club, we have a slogan and then we have a motto. So our motto is soaring above expectation. Soaring above expectation. And then our slogan is, when I say intellectuals, you respond, the mind, the perfect gift. Intellectuals, the mind, the perfect gift. All right, so I'm going to try that with my my debaters in the studio here. So my debaters, when I say intellectuals, you respond, the mind, the perfect gift. Okay, so intellectuals.
The mind, the perfect gift.
Oh no, I'm not feeling the vigor. Like, I'm not feeling the enthusiasm, that alacrity. The intellectuals.
The mind, the perfect gift.
Intellectuals.
The mind, the perfect gift.
Of course, of course. So the mind is a perfect gift indeed. All right, so we are all done with exams. Is anyone sitting in the studio here who still has exams to write?
No.
I don't think so. How has the examinations been? Good or bad?
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
Interesting. Mine hasn't been all that good, you know. But then I'll be including fasting and prayers, so hoping that things will turn out positively.
It's necessary.
But you know, I am even of the view that there is no need for us to actually write exams before we are moved to the next level. Like, you are in level 100, you'll be moving to level 200. why should you write exams? Because even if you fail, you still be made to write reset. Exactly. You reset again and then you pay 50 cedis or you pay an amount to write it again. So why must we write exams at all? Do you think it's really that important? Like before we get to our main motion, do you really think, like it's a question to the house here, do you think it is very important for us to write exams? Starting from the gentleman on my left hand side, do you think it's important?
Yeah, it's very important.
Why do you think so? Personally, I feel we don't need to write exams. After learning everything, let them ask us a question. Do you understand? We agree, yes, we understand. Then they move us to the next level.
Even in the class, a teacher teaches and then he will ask, or he or she will ask the class, do you understand? Almost the whole class will say yes, but yes, still there are others who aren't even following what the teacher is teaching.
No, you see, the mere fact that they are not following doesn't mean they don't understand. Probably they understand what has been given so far, but then they would have to go home and then sit down, digest it, go through all over again.
Okay,
Mr. Camille.
So I believe with the exams will prove whether when the teacher was teaching you were following or not.
So the teachers, they don't trust us. Is that what you are saying? Honorable, what's your take on that?
Well, I don't think examinations are important.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I don't think it is wise to test the knowledge of a student based on a few questions you are certain.
Okay.
So like the exams we wrote last week, okay.
So wait, you think it is not important to tell based on a few questions? So you had wanted more questions or what?
Just, well, you can't set plenty questions for students to write, so it is not important. So like the exams we wrote last week, I had people who learned to the next morning, okay, and when the questions came, the things they learned, not even a single question came from what they learned. You understand?
How come?
Yes. So you should. It's telling you that you can't test the knowledge of a student based on a few questions.
Oh, okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Yeah. So I believe. Do you understand? Yes, I do. If you don't understand, it's your own problem.
Yeah. At the end of the day, the lecturer or teacher doesn't suffer with you in the future.
If
so
you go
why
to the
must you come and
you
torment
can't do the
me?
work correctly? It is your own problem.
Okay. Okay. I like your submission. Would anyone want to join in, or you are all cool? You think we shouldn't write exams so that we file a petition and then we send it to management?
I believe that is not so cool.
Which one is not so cool? For us to write exams or for us not to write?
Not writing exams at all. It is not cool.
We shouldn't write it at all.
We should write exams. Why not? There's a need for us to write exams.
If you had told me you were going to say something like that, I'll just have turned off the microphone. How can you say you should write exams?
I believe at the end of the day, there should be a way of measuring how we understand what you're being taught in the classroom, and also there should be a way for them to assess us. So with that examination, how do you tell that someone has really understood?
Exactly. So there should be a way for them to assess us, not
really the thing we were taught in class, we did understand it or we didn't.
This one there. Well, we would have to leave it for some other time. I think we will draft it down as one of the motions to be debated on. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to give it a date, but then very soon it will be one of the motions to be debated on. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, men and women, boys and girls, that was just a teaser. Okay, we are now coming to start our main program, our main debate. But then before we do that, I believe it will only be appropriate if we allow our debaters to introduce themselves to the house, so that when you are listening to someone make a submission, you know who is behind whatever that is coming. Okay, so let me see. Starting from my far right hand side, I would let honorable member kindly introduce yourself, your name and then your department. Just that name and department.
Good evening. I'm David Armstrong Donko from the ICT department, level 300. Armstrong Donko.
David Armstrong Donko from ICT department. Okay, Mr. David, there is no Goliath in you. Are you thinking of? All right,
I can see some of them around.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Miracle Cephas James from Procurement and Supply Department.
Your name again, please.
Miracle Cephas James.
Miracle Cephas James. You are hoping to.
Procurement and Supply.
Did you say James?
Yes, please.
Miracle Cephas James. All your three names are English names.
Yeah.
Are you hoping to perform a miracle in this? I like that. I like the way you're smiling. You know. Honorable, you've been quiet since you came in. Are you having a broken heart or something? Don't mind me, okay. Honorable, please, your name. Your name and then your department and your level. Okay, so as Honorable is preparing to,
Yeah.
okay, you are ready. All right,
Sorry for that.
no problem.
I'm the person of Kasim Mohammed Kamel.
Kasim what?
Mohammed Kamel.
Camel. As in camel. K A. Oh, okay, okay. I had camel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Camel.
Level 304 year BTech in civil engineering student.
Civil engineering.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Nice, nice. Civil engineering student. I like that. Honorable.
Good evening. I'm Apprentice Anthony Cooper from the electrical.
Apprentice Anthony Cooper.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
from the electrical electronic engineering department.
Electricals and then electronic engineering. Oh, okay. So I equally have my adjudicators in here, those that will be serving as judges after they are done presenting their argument. The judges will then award marks to how well they did their presentations. So I have 3 judges in the studio here. We have Miss Jacqueline, we have Mr. Collins, and then we have Honey, popularly known as President Honey. All right. So the motion to be debated on today, I would read the motion to the House, and then those that are for the motion would come in, and those that are going against the motion would also come in. The first speaker to speak for the motion would be given 8 minutes, or the first speakers would be given 8 minutes, and then the supporting speakers would have 4 minutes to equally argue their point out. All right. So the motion today is: this House supports that the spate of road traffic accidents in Ghana is more about the poor policing in the country than it is the indiscipline on the part of road users. I take it again. This House supports that the spate of road traffic accidents in Ghana is more about the poor policing in the country than it is the indiscipline on the part of road users. This is the motion. Our listeners out there, what do you think about this motion? You may send us text, SMS, or send us WhatsApp messages. We would read them. The numbers are 0247 819 113, 0247 819 113, or 0506 203 669. 0506 203 669. Once they are done debating, we would open the phone. We open the lines for our listeners to equally phone in. But then for the time being, you can send us your SMS, you send us your submissions, contributions, additions, or anything that you have. All right. So for the motion, the first speaker has 8 minutes. Which people are for the motion? Okay, so for the motion on my right hand side, against the motion on my left hand side. Who is the first speaker? Yourself. All right. So Honorable, our timekeeper, can you start now? Okay, good. You have exactly 8 minutes to argue your point out. You may start.
So, if the spate of road traffic accident, is caused by road users, then it is the poor policing. Then why then do we have MTTU? My opponent may ask, what then is the MTTU? The MTTU, that is the Motor Transport Traffic Unit. Okay, they are an agency under the Ghana Police Service that is responsible for road safety. The underlined word here is the road safety. Now, the chair, impartial panel of adjudicators, most accurate timekeeper, dignitaries present, ladies and gentlemen, our viewers listening, a good day to you all. I am in the person of Miracle Cephas James, a second-year student of Technical University from the Procurement and Supply. Here to speak vehemently and strictly for the motion, quote and unquote, the spate of road traffic accident. The House supports that the spate of road traffic accident in the country is more about poor policing than it is the indiscipline of road users. Now, the first point I want to put out is the lack of implementation of policies by the police officers. Now, here is the case. Ghana as a country, okay, we have rules, we have policies, we have laws that is governing our road to make sure that the road is safe for road users. Now, here is a case. It is a responsibility of the police to ensure that road users are abiding to the rules that has been set. It is a responsibility of the police to make sure that road users are abiding to the policies and the laws that has been set. But here is a case. First of all, we have lack of implementation of law. And under this lack of implementation of law, I want to talk about bribery and corruption with respect to the police. Now, can you believe last week Saturday, I was coming back from a program in the evening and we encountered a police officer. The first thing the police officer did was, in our local dialect, oh, one city kakra from Aminako. You understand? And instead of checking if the driver had the required paper or the right certificates to even drive a car, he didn't. And when the driver refused to do that, that is when he went later to ask the driver if he had the required papers to drive a car. And here is the case: what if the driver had given him the CD and the driver was incapable of driving? What do you think would have happened to we, the passengers in the car? And what if even the driver was drunk? What would have happened to the passengers in the car? And the second point I want to talk about is the misappropriation of fund. Now we know that the MTTU, that is the Motor Transport Traffic Unit, they've been allocated a certain amount of money to make sure that there are enough road signs on the roads. They print flyers that educate road users on the do's and the don'ts on the road. Now here's the case: these same people that beg for a city on the road are being allocated funds to make sure that they provide the required signs on the road. What do you think will happen to this money? They will squander them, of course. They will squander the money given to them to allocate road safety measures. Now, the third point I want to talk about is education of road users by the police. That is the inexperience of police. Now, it would surprise you that a police officer doesn't even know the speed limits a car should run on. A police officer doesn't even know the speed limits a car should ride on. Or it would surprise you that a police officer doesn't even know how to read signs or road signs or anything in relation to road safety measures. But we want them to make sure that the road is safe for us. I hope my opponents understand where I'm coming from. Yes. Now, let us look at this. If a police officer doesn't know how a road sign should be or what a road sign means, how then can they educate a road user on the things to do on the road? How then can they educate a road user on the things to do? A police officer that doesn't even know what this road sign means. How can this same police officer tell you that you are exceeding the speed limit a driver should be, or your papers are inadequate, or you lack the required paper to be able to drive a car, or you are underage, so you shouldn't drive at all? Now, the fourth point I also want to talk about is the lack of police checkpoints or police barriers. Now, it will surprise you that from Takrady to Accra, the police checkpoint available is not even up to 3. The police checkpoint available is not up to 3. Yet still, we are expecting that road users drive safely. And my opponents are portioning the blame to road users instead of the police, which is not so.
Okay.
Now, the chairperson, impartial panel of adjudicators, most accurate timekeeper, I want us to take these motions very seriously and criticize and examine the points I've put in so far, and see that police officers are responsible for the road traffic accidents we are seeing every day, rather than road users. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please let us snap our fingers for him. Nice. So to him, he is for the motion that we should blame everything on the police. Well, our views may differ. Against the motion, first speaker, our timekeeper. Can he begin?
2 minutes, 22 seconds.
Can he begin?
Yes.
Sure.
Good evening. Before I continue, I would like to rebut some points the proposition bench made. One, he said a police officer does not know how to read the speed of a car and road signs. The question I'll put to him is, what evidence does he have or has right now to prove to me that he has seen or he knows a police officer who doesn't know how to read a sign? And what I would like to tell him before I continue is, the police are being educated before they are brought out. Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, fellow students, co-debaters, ladies and gentlemen, I am Apronticupo Anthony, a student from the Electrical Electronic Engineering Department, and I'm speaking as the principal speaker against the motion. Restating the motion, the spate of road traffic accidents in Ghana is more about the poor policing in the country than it is the indiscipline on the part of road users. What a fallacy. Even though the police have more to do, I believe, as the saying goes, that there is no smoke without fire. Neither there is a problem without a cause. The chair, if our opponents are saying the high spate of road traffic accidents is more about the poor policing in the country, based on this minor proof they believe to be true, then we, the opposition bench, is here to disprove their proof that when we talk about road users, this include drivers, pedestrians, traders, street hawkers, passengers, public transport users, bicycle and motor riders, and many more. Looking at this category, we can clearly point out that the spate of road traffic accidents is as a result of their indiscipline on the road. The chair, ladies and gentlemen, 2 years ago, there was a sad incident which occurred on the road in some part of Ashaiman, where a Kia truck loaded with brakes filled its brake and led to the death of 10 street hawkers who sells on the pavement and others injured. According to the ASHMA, which is the Ashaman Municipal Assembly, they have been trying for years to get hawkers off the street, yet these hawkers still find their way to sell on the street. Why should we see clear indiscipline and still call it poor policing? Reading from the statistical analysis made by the Ghana Police, which I have here, fatality rate has been increasing year by year. And what I have here is from 2015 to 2018. In 2015, there has been a fatality rate which was 1,802, and in 2016 it rose to 2,284. In 2017, it dropped to 1,823. In 2018, it rose to 2,020. In 2019, it rose to 2,284. And in 2020, it rose to 2,589 respectively. Moreover, we the opposition bench is not here only to point out the causes but also the effects and solution to this indiscipline on our roads moving forward. The causes of road traffic accidents are not things out of our boundaries, but rather on our fingertips, that when you ask a primary 3 student, he or she will boldly tell you: 1, overspeeding; 2, drunk driving; 3, receiving calls and texts; 4, beating the red lights, and many more. However, these are the very things the police educate and make emphasis to these road users through their social media handles like the Twitter, the Facebook, and the others, and then also broadcast some of this vital information on the television and radio. Example is the Police Watch, which has been going on TV3. After all this education and enforcement on the roads, should the police still follow these drivers, motor riders, street hawkers to their various destinations, ensuring that they comply by the rules and regulation? The answer is no. It is now on their part to be disciplined on the roads, but what do we see? The chair. Recently, there was a speech titled "Down the Up Escalator: Reflections on Ghana's Future" by a senior citizen named Sam Jonah. From his lengthy speech, where he said, and I quote, "The indiscipline on our roads has become a nightmare. Last year, about 1,115 people lost their lives or got seriously injured due to road accidents, a 22% increase a 22% increase over the 2019 figures according to the Bureau of Public Safety. For the first 3 months of this year alone, more than 700 people died from road accidents by this year. By comparison, COVID-19 has killed about 760 people over 1 year period. Clearly, indiscipline on our roads is more deadly than coronavirus, unquote. In my fingers, I have two pictures. In picture A is the Ghana police implementing or making sure that they go contrary to what the Constitution has stated in Chapter 15 of the 1992 Constitution. That's Article 200, Clause 3. And I read, the police service shall be equipped and maintained to perform its traditional role of maintaining law and order. And these are the very things which the police have been doing each time they are on these roads. In conclusion, the chair, one thing we are to remember when driving is that we should not just ensure our safety and the safety of passengers. We should also take into consideration the safety of the other drivers and those using the roads. Let's also bear in mind that driving responsibly is not as simple as complying with traffic regulations, but also the driver etiquette. Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, ladies and gentlemen, I believe it's all said and done. You all agree with me that the spate of road traffic accidents in Ghana is not as a result of poor policing, but the indiscipline on the part of road users. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, please let us give it up for him. Well, I even believe that in the course of someone's submission, if you realize that the person is, saying something sensible or something good, we should just be giving it up for the person like that. At least it motivates us and then it reduces tension and then pressure. Don't you agree with me? I like the way you're smiling. All right. So going forward, we are left with two main speakers. Those that will be going for the motion and then against the motion, supporting speakers, of which they have supporting speakers. Sorry, it's like today I've been making a whole lot of grammatical errors. The devil is a liar. All right. So they both have 4 minutes each. When it's time, I'll just start clapping like this. So when you realize that I'm clapping, it doesn't mean you are doing well. It means that your time is up, so you should end everything. Okay, thank you very much. So I would like to remind our listeners out there that this program is TTU Debates. You can join in with a question, contribution. You send us your thoughts or you take on this very motion. The motion is this House supports that the spate of road traffic accidents in Ghana is more about the poor policing in the country than it is the indiscipline on the part of road users. So the studio lines are 0247 819 113, 0247 819 113, or 0506 203 669, 0506 203 669. If you are listening on radio and then you'd want to, see the people seated in the studio here, you can go to Facebook. And then the Facebook handle is Premier 100.5 FM. Premier 100.5 FM. All right. Thank you very much. So we continue with our debate for the motion. Supporting speaker, you have exactly 4 minutes to make your argument. Our timekeeper, can he begin now? Sure, you can. Say, you may proceed.
Education, they say, it is needless unless it is having great impact on the people that are being educated. My opponent stated that the police are being educated before they are passed out or they come out. I want to ask him if they are educated to take bribe. My name is David Armstrong Donko, supporting speaker for the motion. He made a point that the police are educated, and for that matter, they know about the road signs and all that. I'm very much aware that the police are educated and for that matter, they are not educated to take bribes. What do you see on our roads? They take bribe here and there. They go down low to take as low as 1 cedi just to allow people to go on with whatever they have even in their trucks. So if they are educated and they know about the road sign, I have to believe they are also educated not to take bribe. The fact that they are educated and they still take bribe means that they are educated, but they still, the education has no impact on them. He also stated that there's no problem without a cause, no smoke without fire. I so believe it. That is why the cause of road accident is the police. Because I believe Mahatma Gandhi once said that freedom does not worth it if it gives the opportunity to make mistake. He made mention of overspeeding or speeding, drunk driving, and a whole lot of them. Why can those things happen? Because police take bribe, they give drivers the opportunity to overtake at any point without the fear of even the policeman, because that person has been paid or he's taking what he wants. So they have that freedom to do whatever they want to do. In the case where you do unnecessary overtaking and it results in an accident and you are penalized, people will take it as a deterrent to stay away from unnecessary overtaking. He brought a scenario of the case of Ashama where a truck failed brake and ran into passengers and killed a whole lot of them. Who is in control of the people? Is it not the police? They have been charged with the responsibility to make sure that the right thing is done on our roads. So it is the failure on their part to let the people be at the right place that actually caused that accident. If they were able to put the people in place, how do you come and tell me I told them to go and they didn't go? Do you expect me to go and drag them? No. You have been mandated to do so. It is your responsibility. And I don't expect that you come back and tell me they didn't go. So what should I do? That is where you have to enforce the law. It is their failure to enforce our laws that is causing some of this road accident. I'm also so much interested in when he made mention of drivers having the drivers being indisciplined. What is the responsibility of the police at all? What are the duties of MTTU? What do? They are there to make sure that the right things are done on our roads. So failure or if they relax in performing their mandate or their duties, drivers feel like we can do whatever we want to do at any point. So if you are failing to do what you have to do, it will result in an accident. So we have to, at any point, control them.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please let's snap our fingers for David Armstrong. David. All right. So Goliath didn't come, so you are unleashing your anger here. All right. So thank you very much. We have Mr. Kamel coming in as the supporting speaker against the motion. Sir, you may begin now.
The chair panel of judges, Sakri, thank you, pa. Colleague debaters, fellow students, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the person of Kassim Mohammed Kamo, a civil engineering student of this university. I'm the supporting speaker against the motion, and I quote: the spate of road traffic accidents in Ghana is more about poor policing in the country than it is indiscipline on the part of road users. First and foremost, my colleague debaters on the other side said lack of implementation of policing rules, which has to do with the police taking bribes. I mean, we are those who force the police to take bribes. Police are not taught how and when to take bribes. We influence police with money. We, the road users, influence police with money. And by so doing, we are indisciplined. So it's not the fault of the police that they are taking bribe. It's not the fault of police that they are taking bribe, leading to poor. It's not the fault of police that they are taking bribe. We are the ones influencing. We are the ones influencing them to take bribe. Furthermore, my co-debaters from the other side said allocation of funds to do work on road signs, among others. It's not the responsibility of Ghana Police Service to work on road signs. It's the responsibility of road safety. And even if the road signs are kept, it's my choice to decide to follow the road signs or not. I mean, we've seen times with our number in Market Circle where it's kept, don't park here, and we park there. What has happened to us? So the road accidents that happen, it's not the fault of Ghana police. First of all, my co-debaters made a mistake by telling us that it's the police responsibility to put those signs. It's not the police responsibility. It's the responsibility of a government authority known as road safety. It's the responsibility of road safety, and I can decide not to follow it. My co-debater said that police educate users on road signs. I mean, I don't know where my co-debaters got his points from. I don't know where he researched for his points. I don't know where he read his points from. I don't know who educated him. But it's not the responsibility of the police to educate us on road signs. Support your point with a constitutional clause, because the responsibilities of the police are in the Constitution. It's not the responsibility of the police to educate us on road signs. Once again, it's the responsibility of road safety. So even if it's the responsibility of the police, it's my choice to decide on whether I should listen to them or not. I mean, how many times haven't you heard on radio or TV people telling us that driver 60, driver whatever, don't drink and drive? It is my choice. I am a road user, and I decide whether I'll drink and drive or whatever. My co-debater said lack of police checkpoints. Even if police checkpoints are kept at 5-meter intervals, it's still my choice as a road user to decide to let the police checkpoint influence me or not. And I can decide not to listen to what the police say and cause road accidents or whatever. The chair panel of Judges, Secretary and Keeper co-debaters, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. On this basis, it will be very much unfair for the House to rule in favor of my co-debaters. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Shiny. It's all good. It's all been good. It's been so hot. It's been heated. I've really enjoyed the points brought out so far. And I want to ask my debaters, okay, for the motion and against the motion. Is anyone here? Is anyone seated here? As in those that are in for the motion. Is any of you already convinced that what your opponent said that's right, and then now you've changed your stand? You no longer think that those that were for the motion, you think now, okay, fine, per what our opponents have said, I think that now I have to go against the motion.
In fact,
the police.
It was all lies, honestly.
Myself,
against the motion, have you changed your mind, or you are still standing to
You are
what
still
you said
strongly
earlier?
against the motion.
Okay. Kindly put it off for me. Thank you very much. Okay, so you were in the course of saying something.
Yeah, so I was about saying I'm now more convinced that the cause of road accident on our roads is because of poor policing, because any point they made can be actually controlled by the police if they are really up to task. How do you tell me we've seen don't park here and you park there and nothing is done to you, and you want to convince me it is not about policing? What is it about? How do you tell me MTTD or MTTU they don't educate people on road signs and how
from the way those that were against the motion are quiet, I believe that I think
you can see
they support you
from
people,
their
so
sitting posture.
I don't think
You can see from their sitting posture
like,
they are so much convinced that they took their own stand, you know.
Oh really?
Oh yes, they
you,
did.
You should not understand that what is taking place right now will not merit you any marks.
The chair,
Okay, but then I just want to know.
the chair in the house, our elders have a saying that empty barrels make the most noise. So let the empty barrels make the most noise, and let us listen to their noise.
You know, when you have nothing to say, that's why you have some of these
is
schools
all.
to defend yourself. But you have something to say, you just tell and you move on.
So, as much as you have something to say, you have to get a proof to what you are saying.
And then you proved anything we said. So
He was
Okay.
saying
You want to
the
come in?
police do not educate.
Who was saying?
My
Uh,
opponent.
Your opponent
I
said
have
that's in
here-
there.
Yes,
Okay.
according to Wikipedia.
That the
MT
you don't understand
No,
that
you don't
Wikipedia is not okay. You
Oh,
continue.
but come on.
You continue.
Yes,
Continue. I
the
didn't release anything.
MTTU educates road users on accident-free road practices. I hope you get. So why were you saying the MTTU did not educate road users?
in fact, they gave us wrong information, and I don't know where they were talking from.
It's not like it's a lying competition or something.
Since when did
Oh, come on.
Wikipedia become a reliable source?
In fact,
Well,
we are not
well.
basing our argument on Wikipedia, unless, of
Exactly.
course, you don't know the duties of
so-
entity. Then
Mr. Host,
Uh-huh.
we can engage in an unproductive discussion. Can we please?
to him, it is unproductive because he
Well,
has
well,
got
well,
nothing
well,
better
pay
to
your
say. You
discretion,
know,
Pay your discretion. Okay. Pay your discretion.
he has got nothing
Li-
better
listen,
to
listen,
say.
listen.
So
If you
to
don't
him,
have
it's
anything to say,
unproductive.
you can just say that. Okay,
That's
fine.
it.
But
That's
for
it.
you to just classify something as come on, I order you to apologize to the house.
I apologize.
Okay, so
apologize.
I am even more convinced that probably he has changed his stance.
Oh yes,
and
you can see from his
he no
sitting
longer
posture, the way
believes that
he's behaving. He's
yes.
convinced now.
Mr. Anthony, yourself, you are so convinced, right?
I'm not convinced. I will stand against today and tomorrow because looking at even if the police are not even if the police are not the people to make sure that these road users comply or go by the rules and regulations on this road, which we have the road safety authority, the MTTs.
Okay.
The police also have their duty to play in this, and the constitution has stated clearly, which I quoted in chapter 15, article 200 clause 3, that the police are to maintain law and order, and with this law and order are also implemented on the road.
So that's the only responsibility of the police.
That's
Kindly
not the only responsibility of the police, but that was what was stated in the
So
constitution.
you are saying
But
that
we
is
have
the
But do
only
you know?
responsibility of the police.
MTT is a part of the police service. It's a division under the Ghana Police Service.
Sure,
Okay,
it's a
okay.
division.
So
Wait,
how
wait,
do you
wait,
tell
like-
me they don't actually teach or they don't educate on?
No,
Exactly.
They
So
don't
he is
educate.
telling you what.
That's what you
They
said.
educate, and I even made
Listen,
example
listen,
that-
listen.
no,
You
no,
people
no,
should
no,
listen
no,
to
no,
me.
Don't run
You
from your
people
own
should listen
point.
to me.
Don't
I am the
run.
host here. Hello, 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 hello. So thank you all very much for understanding me that I am the host. I control the whole show. If I realize that you are disturbing me, I turn off your microphone and I sack you from Well, that was just on a lighter note. All right, so we are informing our listeners that they can phone in now. You can call in to tell us what you think. Well, it can be based on what you heard from the studio here or your general take on this very motion. Okay, so the studio lines are 0247 819 113, 0247 819 113, or 0506 203 669, 0506 203 669. Okay, so you can call, you can send an SMS, or you can WhatsApp us as well, and then we'll do all to attend to them or respond to them equally. All right, so you were in the process of saying something before I stopped. I believe our judges too are collating their marks for us, so before they come in. Well, I believe that, you see, in the course of debates, okay, the little that I know is that you don't leave questions hanging. You don't ask questions and then you don't answer them yourself. Once you come up with a question, you must answer the question for us. So you can't tell us that someone should give me a question with no answer. I don't mean this hypothetical questions, okay, or rhetorical questions, but then you don't ask a question that, do you think that someone can do this without doing that? Then you leave it hanging without giving us an answer. No, it is not supposed to be that way. In as much or irrespective of how rhetorical it may be, so you must answer that. And then again, when you are debating, let us know what you are debating on, whether you are for the motion or against the motion. Because sometimes people come in and then they start with their points. All right, it's good to come with a point, but in the process or in the course, let us know that you are for the motion that this, yes, you believe that this, or you are against the motion in the house. Okay, I think some of you came, but you did. Although I know what you were debating on, but those listening, at a point in time, some of your points are a bit confusing. So you state that, okay, I am for the motion or I am against the motion. And then again, I think Mr. Kamel, you said something. Whatever I'm doing here does not merit any marks, okay? So, that it does not deduct anything at all. So please, do not be disturbed. You said someone quoted something. He says when you spoke, he said someone said something about the constitution, but then the constitution clearly states the duties of the police. We're expecting that you would have quoted that for us as well, because you don't just say it. It can be that you are lying. Okay,
The reason why he left it was because I quoted it.
What was that? What you quoted earlier?
That was what I quoted. Yeah.
I thought no.
No,
Can-
he
can-
was
can we
saying
do quote
something
again?
else. So
Okay. Can you get us the quote again
Okay, so
for the purpose of learning? Okay, people are
chapter
listening out there
15
then.
of the Constitution.
I think we are not Camel.
You said no. He said
So,
he quoted that
no,
earlier
that was
before.
Camel.
So
Well, you
let's
are
say
not
I think
Camel.
Camel was only making a
Host,
reference to what he
Host,
said.
The last time I checked, we had one host for this program. We don't have two.
Sure.
No. At the
So
end of
if
the
there's somebody to
no,
tell
no.
somebody to keep quiet,
He is
it
allowed
not
to raise a
member of-
concern. He is allowed
No,
to
I
raise a
only
concern.
said
This
he's
was
not
just a
Camel.
concern.
Oh.
And I am saying that.
I feel he's not allowed to raise a concern.
Well,
so
that is
therefore-
your feeling. That is not
So
my
therefore, we
feeling.
won't listen to anybody apart from you.
Well, and
I know at this time you are the only one we are listening to.
See. At the end of the day, I was even backing you. I said you made a reference to what he said.
Sure.
Okay, so I've even answered
The
you. So
host,
there is no
it's
cause
not
for
about
worry.
who you are backing. It's about making things right. He
Yeah, and
can't-
I've just made
he
this.
can't-
I said
yeah.
you referenced him, and then he's now coming
So
in
let's-
with the.
let's-
Or you have a problem with him coming in
I
with
have
the.
a problem with somebody telling somebody to keep
You have a
quiet.
problem with someone raising a concern.
Yes, I have
a
a problem
legitimate concern.
I have-
You can't have a problem
I
with
have
that.
a problem with that.
The person is entitled to raise concern. I mean, if he doesn't understand something, he can ask.
He can ask you.
Yes, so he just asked. Thanks for understanding. All right, so
Let's
please,
move.
some people are learning. Okay,
We
so
will raise
let's know them.
concerns.
Chapter 15 of the 1992 Constitution,
Okay.
Article 200, Clause 3. And I read, the police service shall be equipped. And the word equipped has been underlined. My opponent said the police do not know how to read signs. And the word equipped means they have been taught or they have been educated before they are brought out. And he said the police service.
I think he has to
The
read
police
it.
service shall-
let's
He doesn't
let
have
him land.
to tell us what it means.
No,
Let-
I
let's
want
land,
to
let's land.
educate you
So-
because what you were
Okay.
saying, was not.
I'm not so much interested in your explanation. Just read it. You are making a quotation. Don't explain.
Oh, okay, we get you. So you read for us. We
Okay,
would interpret
so-
it in our own way. That's what
Sure.
you are saying.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
The police service shall be equipped and maintained
Adamax
to
ready.
perform its traditional role of maintaining law and order. That's what is
Now-
yeah, that's all. That's what is stated there.
Now you were emphasizing on the equipped. Okay.
Sure.
Now you are talking like you've never seen a student that has gone to a school, studied for like 3 years, came out and failed. You haven't seen a student like that.
I've heard of that before.
No.
You see, I don't talk without proof. When you have
Okay.
proof, you
No,
you-
but like
I-
it's something general. It's like it's
It's
something.
not
No,
something general.
You
something.
asked him a question,
Yes.
and then he has answered you, and you are not satisfied with his answer
He didn't
because you were
answer.
expecting a different answer.
What was the answer?
You said has he seen, and
Yes.
he's like he has heard. He has not seen.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So
Okay,
thanks for
thank
understanding.
Yes.
I believe you have.
Okay, so from what he read, if I do understand it well, it says the police service shall be equipped and maintained to perform its traditional role of maintaining law and order. Trying to tell me that at any time they will be provided the needed items or instruments for them to actually perform their mandated roles. So he actually what he quoted is contradicting the point he made. You
In what
understand?
way?
So whatever he said, they shall be equipped or whatever, that is true. That is why he even said they are educated, so they know everything. That's why I also made the point that they are educated not to take bribe, but they do.
Okay.
Education and is one thing, and actually having impact on who is being educated is another.
Okay.
You understand? You
Well,
can't tell me.
You know, back in school, okay. No, we are still in school.
The
During
functions,
SHS,
the functions of Ghana Police. I want to.
you want to read from let me make my submission. Okay, back in school, when we were being taught road accident causes of road accidents, quite a number of things were mentioned, like overspeeding, overtaking, swerving ramps, and all that. You get it, but poor policing was not included.
Okay.
Now, if at the end of the day, today, at the end of this whole debate, those that went for the motion wins, and then we blame it on poor policing, then the social studies teachers should revise their textbooks and then include it in it.
I think the point you are trying to make is that speeding and drunk driving, all that. We are not saying they don't cause
Then it means-
accidents.
No, I am
But the
saying
point
that.
you are saying
I
that-
am saying that.
See,
when he
look
says
at the
that,
motion very
then it
well.
means
Included.
He admits to the fact that it is the indiscipline of the.
Then he
on the part
doesn't
of the road
understand the
users.
motion.
No, I am saying that.
We
I
are
am saying
comparing
that. I
two
am
things
saying
here. They
if-
all cause
if-
accident, but we are considering the rates.
Exactly. I understand you. I agree with you perfectly. And I'm saying that if it is agreed on today, or if those that went for the motion wins today and say that it is the fault of poor policing,
But they are
or it's
not going
as
to
a
win.
result of poor policing, then going forward, social studies textbooks should be revised and then it should be included
there
in
has
them. That
always
is
been the need for revision.
exactly. So in the course of this revision, it must be included that
So
causes of
if
road
there has
accidents.
been a
Sure,
revision,
sure,
why
sure.
hasn't
This,
wh-
that is
why
if we
hasn't-
win.
No. If there has been a revision, why haven't they included poor
Did
policing?
you say that?
Well,
Because
probably
there's the need for
it's
I
revision?
said there's
likely-
the need for
No,
revision.
There is a need for a revision.
Sure.
No, but usually revisions are made. Okay, usually
Yeah.
I think almost 3 years or 5 years they do revisions to some of these textbooks, and I mean the world
just
is
like the
changing, so every
Constitution.
now and then they upgrade the system. So going for it, likely if they find the need to include them, why not? They will definitely include it. All right. I've really enjoyed today's debate.
The higher you build your barriers, the taller I become. The farther you take my rights away, the faster I will run.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen out there, this is TTU Debate. And in fact, we've been debating and we are still debating and we will always debate, because at the end of the day, we are looking at challenging the status quo. It is not about what has existed in antiquity. It is not about what we've held on to or held on to since the antediluvian age. No, we are looking at challenging things and then coming up with new ideas, new strategies, helping us to think critically. And then we know that at the end of the day, there isn't only a side to everything. There are two sides. Okay, sometimes there are more than two sides, but then to everything there isn't just one approach to things. Okay, all right. So as at this point, or as at this very juncture, I have my wonderful judges seated comfortably in their seats. They're looking straight into my eyes, and I'm enjoying how they're looking at me. Mr. Collins is laughing and then looking into the sky. I don't know if he's trying to communicate with God. So Collins, I think you are gaining weight. You know, like you are becoming fat. I remember I used to be fat myself before. You know, let's just not go into that. All right, so my judges, you're welcome.
Thank you.
sir.
I believe you've enjoyed this debate.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we have.
Of course, because myself, I've really enjoyed it. The way I was smiling and the way people were quoting constitutions, engineering students quoting constitutions. See,
I tell you.
one of the advantages of being a debater, I get to read wide. Okay, you don't limit yourself to your particular program, but then you get to read across almost everything sound. Because you're having the likes of IT students talking about police, and then you have engineering students, you have marketing, right, or PS, procurement and supply, trying to debate things out. He's not focusing on only buying and then supplying things. I really enjoyed that. All right, so my judges, I don't know your take on that before you come in with your judgment. Okay.
Okay.
Please, your name and then.
Yes. I'll
Exactly.
start. Yes. I'm Sir Collins.
Okay, Sir Collins.
Sir Collins, level 300 of final year student, HND,
Okay.
marketing and strategy.
Mhm.
I think today's debate is one of my best debates ever, and I think
Oh, come on, give it up for yourself.
yes,
Give it up for
yes.
yourself like you deserve it.
kudos to
Our
the debaters,
debaters, of
yes,
course,
and
of
the
course.
host as well.
Oh.
Yes, I think my quick take on the debate or the motion.
Mhm.
I believe in a social context,
Mhm.
it's the responsibility of the police to police our rules. And there's two theories.
Mhm.
I think a theory by Darwin on the species, of which Darwin, the great philosopher, Charles Darwin, the great philosopher and the scientist, classified human as part of the kingdom Animalia.
Mhm.
And in the kingdom Animalia, the only thing that differentiates man from the other species is our ability to reason.
Oh, okay.
That is the only point which differentiates us from the other species.
Okay.
And we have another theory too, which is the social contract.
Mhm.
In the social contracts, in the context of every society,
Mhm.
they believe man will at a point misbehave when there's no rule and order.
Okay.
So in the social contract system,
Mhm.
man will willingly sacrifice some of his will to the state,
Mhm.
and the state in return will give protection to the citizenry.
Okay.
So, for example, the citizen will pay taxes
Mhm.
and will be told not to do this. This is the limit to your rights, and the person will abide by it. But it's left with the state to enforce it. That's why we have state agencies like the police.
Mhm.
And I remember, if my memory serves me right, the motto of the police is service with integrity.
Okay.
And if you have integrity, there's no way you will engage in bribery and corruption
Exactly.
for our lives to suffer, because we have paid you to protect our life and make sure policing on our roads are safe. So I don't believe at any point in time when police takes bribe, it's good to justify it. We cannot justify it by all means, and we are not alien to the custom of our society. We know police here and there always do that. So this is my little take. I don't want to take all the time. So
I like your little pick. I so much like it. All right, so good. Miss Jacqueline, my co-host, ladies and
Hey.
gentlemen out there, if you are listening to the program for the first time, okay. So if you are listening to the program for the first time, or if you are watching on Facebook for the first time, she happens to be my co-host. I mean, she's a wonderful host. She has a voice that can make you sleep. That is when she's not hosting the
Yes.
program. I like her so much. All right, so before she comes in, she happens to be our chief adjudicator for today. So therefore, I'll take her submission last. I'll go to Honey, President Honey. You know, usually people have a wrong, and how should I put it? They spell your name wrongly. Okay, whenever the name is mentioned, Honey. Okay, they think of a different honey. Okay, but for our listeners out there, okay, it's a compound name, Honey Mensa. Okay, honey.
I think
Is
many
it
people
pronounced honey or honey?
anyway. I think
See,
many
my-
people think it's a Nikki, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not. It's my name.
Yeah, it's his name.
Okay,
Honey.
so
Let me broflize it a little bit. Honey Mensa, honey. Yeah. All right, so tell us what you think.
okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
I think the other time that I sat here, I was debating, so and it was this very chair, so
Oh, okay,
I'm a little
okay.
tense.
Memories, eh?
Okay, my take on the motion today is the both sides are right.
when they say it's on the side of police, that is they not ensuring that things are really going well. And then when they also say it's the indiscipline on the part of road users, it's also right, because many incidents have happened in the past where both sides happen to be the culprits involved in the cases. So to me, both have done well, and it's a good debate. Seriously.
Of course. It
Thank
has
you.
been a good debate. It has been a heated one. You want to come in? All right, please do.
So sorry for.
No problem.
Okay,
at all,
say.
no problem.
I think I disagree with my boss.
That it is both sides.
Yes,
This
yes,
is a
yes.
second debate.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
so
Oh, no, actually a second debate. Yes, because you know,
interesting.
why are laws made?
Mhm,
Because they know at every point in time, if you leave man to his will,
mhm.
he will misbehave.
Okay.
So laws are there to guide us.
Okay. Now
So-
these laws are
So-
made by man
Thank
That's it. And
to
must-
enforce.
that's
must we always wait for enforcers to come in before we do the right thing?
hello.
Okay.
That
You
is
continue.
where I-
You see,
Let him continue.
There
Let
is
him
no
land.
society in this earth without a law.
Mhm,
Even the school, even writers and debaters club,
mhm.
we have laws.
Exactly.
Why do we have laws? Because if you leave man to his will,
Mhm.
he will leave you in a state of choice.
Okay.
And we don't want that to happen in any society. That's why we have laws.
Exactly.
What does the law say? The law has apportioned responsibility
Mhm.
to each and every one of us.
Okay.
The police are there to enforce the road safety laws.
Mhm.
So I think on the bottom line, I still believe that it is the duty of the police to make sure our roads are safe.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you too. You're so much welcome. He believes it is the duty of the police. Personally, well, it is both sides to me.
Let's go.
Because at the end of the day, you see, whatever we are saying does not merit the minimize. But then, what I believe is that it is part of the
That's what I
causes
was
of
about
road.
saying.
Oh, then sorry. Let me keep quiet for our chief adjudicator too.
Yes, good evening once
evening,
again.
of
I'm
course.
Jacqueline.
Yes.
I think it's a shared responsibility, as we said
Exactly.
last week,
Sure.
and
Sure.
it's all about checks and balances.
Exactly.
It's the responsibility of road users to obey the laws, and it is the responsibility of these police or representative from
Of-
the security service to also make sure the laws are implemented.
Sure.
So one way or the other, both sides are right and both sides are not right at the same time,
We
because
can't blame it
yes,
all
we can't blame it all to one particular
party.
person. Yes.
Okay.
So sometimes it will be the fault of the police. That is what we always know, that they take bribes and all that. But sometimes too, it is the fault of the road users.
Sure.
They know exactly that what they are doing is wrong.
Exactly.
So they use this kind of bribe to cover up what they are doing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And then sometimes to the police, you know,
Yeah.
they
They're also at fault.
yes, they are also at fault because yes, as my colleague said, we are human beings,
Exactly.
and if we are left to our will, we will do certain things we cannot even think of. You
Sure,
sit back later and you realize, hey, this is what I did, and
Did,
it's
yeah.
really
Exactly.
not
For
in the
example,
good
if,
faith.
let's say on this road, there's Pipan Road from campus to Pipan.
To Pipan,
A
no?
driver does an overtaking and then clashes with another car. You can't
Yes.
blame it on the police. You get it. It's as a result of poor driving or
That is
careless,
it.
reckless driving. You get
So
it.
on
yeah.
my part, it's a shared responsibility, and it's all about checks and balances. Let's all do our part. You as a pedestrian, or you as a driver, a motorcyclist, and all that. You know this side is for parking. Let's park there. If you know that this when the traffic light says red, let us stop.
Okay.
Let's not just say because other roads are empty, we can just move on. You don't know what another car, you don't know where another car may be coming from, and at what speed the person might be. So it's all about us, and it's all about the police as well. Yeah, so that's what I would say.
So
for
it
now.
is a shared responsibility. In as much as the police is trying everything within their jurisdiction to make sure that we limit this road accidents. Of course, to say we are totally stopping it, I don't want to say it's impossible, but then it's a bit difficult. But then we can limit it to an appreciable degree. So, in as much as the police will be doing their part, road users, we that will be driving, using the road, as in being a pedestrian trying to cross the road, whatever that you are doing on the road, you should also be very careful. All right. Nice. Okay, so we go in with our judgment day. Our judge, please tell us who won the day. Okay, probably. Okay, so it must start from. All right, President Honey.
Okay.
I think you have 3 minutes to.
No problem. Okay, so the name is Lodren Honeymentor. For I made some notes whilst they were debating. For the principal speaker who was on the preposition bench, he debated well, but the points were weak.
Okay.
Yes, and then the second thing was false argument. Like police do not know anything about speeding.
Oh, okay.
There were other things too, but since I've made mention of this, I think he would note it down. And the opposition bench, the principal speaker, said the pauses were too much, and I didn't understand the statistics he presented on the charts that was from 2014 to 2020. Yes, I didn't really understand that. And then
okay, you continue.
Okay, audibility and clarity was very good for him. It was very, very clear. And then the supporting speaker on the preposition bench, he conflicted himself by saying something that his principal speaker said the opposite. That was when he said the police has been given education. He said the police has been given education, but the principal speaker said they don't know anything about road using. That was what the preposition bench, the principal speaker from the preposition bench said. He said they don't know anything about speeding and some other things. But he came back as the supporting speaker to tell us that the police has been given education on these things, and then therefore they've been given education on how to take bribes as well.
Okay. So
And
I think your 3 minutes is almost up.
okay. So to round up, I think the principal speaker for the preposition bench had a total of 40 marks out of 50, and then his supporting speaker also had 28 on 30, so making that a 68 point, and then the opposition bench scoring the principal speaker for the opposition bench had 45 on 50, while the supporting speaker also had 28, so making that 73 points in all.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Collins,
Okay.
kindly finish for us in the space of 3 minutes.
Okay. I think they all did well, as I've said already.
Sure.
The marks for the first speakers is over 50, and the second speaker is over 30.
Okay.
So for the preposition, the first speaker had 28 out of 50,
Okay.
and the second speaker had 20.
20.
Yes, out of 50.
Okay.
Sorry, the
Out of
position.
30.
Yeah.
I'm reading the position instead. Sorry.
Okay.
The principal speaker
Uh-huh.
has had 20. The first speaker of the principal
Okay.
had 25.
25.
Yes, and the supporting.
That is those that went for the motion.
They are for the motion.
Okay, first
yes.
one had 25.
25.
Second one had
19.
19.
Yes.
Okay.
And the
Okay.
opposition,
Mm-hmm.
they had 28 and
28.
20 respectively.
And 20 respectively.
Thank you.
Okay. I believe someone is doing the maths for us. Let me get my calculator. Okay, so let's proceed.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, so before the final one comes in. Okay, no, you come in with yours as well, or you've done the collation and everything.
No, not yet.
Okay, so you kindly come in with yours and
Yeah,
yes,
we will
let
have
me
the
take yours.
collation later.
Exactly.
So as it's already been said, there were some things I also got some things I realized out of this. Their concord were a bit
Off.
off, yes, because um, single should go with the single. How do we call
As in
it?
the
The
verb,
verb,
must agree
the
with
subject-verb agreement,
Exactly.
was a little bit off because he would say one. A speaker once said he, and then took something else.
Okay.
Okay, and it's kind of one of the things we are trying to avoid.
Okay.
But
That's the end
the principal speaker for the opposition bench used his time judiciously, and I really like that.
Okay.
Just that, as President Honey said, the pausing were too much,
Okay.
but his points were really outlaid very well. Just that his sources and then the evidences that he brought were not really matching the points he was making. Even though I like the constitution part where he brought it in, but like what he said, the chart, I wasn't really getting what he was trying to say in there.
Okay.
But all the same, both parties did well.
Okay.
Their points, they were okay. Okay, so I in the general view, the heat is still low. I don't know. The heat came up after the debate is done.
Exactly.
But
You
in the
see,
course
in
of
the
the
course of
debate,
the debate,
it was
okay,
really calm and all that. But
Okay.
I would have wished
I
that
believe
the
probably
heat
because
came
it
in.
was being regulated, but then they should have spoken
Probably,
with that.
yes,
okay,
with that
okay. So
vein,
going
with
forward,
that
whoever that is given the
enthusiasm.
opportunity to speak,
Yes,
let the person speak
that
with
is
power.
it.
Okay.
And with the proposition bench, that is the principal speaker, I was expecting that, or any of the principal speakers will explain the keywords, but it's more
Exactly.
of the responsibility or the duty of the proposition bench, because you are introducing the motion to us again.
Okay.
Irrespective of the host informing us of the motion, we expect you to also bring it out, explain to us. That is where we take your points from there. So some keywords like the speed, poor policing, indiscipline, road users and road traffic, we were expecting that you give us explanation. Then we will know how to relate your points with the keywords you have explained to us. Okay. So I hope you would take that into consideration. And then I liked the other word that came up, and it was rightly pronounced as our chief adjudicator, Miss Madam Nana Abba Dawson, always say. It is opponent, not opponent. And I is it Cooper? Yes, Cooper. Yes, Cooper mentioned it rightly, opponent, and I liked it. The I like the supporting speaker for the proposition bench, because he was explaining his points in order, and he was relating to us. But some of the debaters, I realized they were reading from their scripts more than relating to us as the audience. So far, so good. We are improving. That is what I would say. They've done so well. And please note that our marks is based on what you performed, or what was what encountered here, or what was done at this studio, not by our perception or what our prejudice or anything, misconceptions and all the words that we can think of. Yes. So the principal speaker for the motion had 22. The language was good. The argumentation was quite okay. Yeah, so 22 over 50. The scholarly source, I wasn't really getting his sources as in evidences to prove that yes, it is the poor policing. So he had 22. The supporting speaker had 25 out of 30. And then for the opposition bench, the principal speaker did well with his points, and then argumentation was also on point. His mannerism was quite okay because he was reading too much. We were not really relating with him, but his scholarly sources, even though not all of them really relate to his points, but he made mention of some sources which we were able to verify. So
powerful.
it's
So you can't just come and lie here.
Oh no!
Whatever you say, we verify.
When the moment he gave out the
The
constitution, the quote
We
from the
checked.
constitution, we checked.
Oh,
Checked.
nice.
Yes, we did.
I was even hoping that one of these days I'll just forge something and then
Yeah.
chapter 9.
No, the
So I can't
moment
do
you
something
mention
like
it,
that.
we just check. You
Hey,
may not know,
ridiculous.
you may not see, but we check before we
Amazing.
give you
Then
marks
I'll be
on that.
careful next time.
Yes. So he did well.
Uh-huh.
He had 25 out of the 50, and then his supporting speaker had 22. I liked his argumentation, and then the what do you
Yeah,
call
as
it?
in the
Enthusiasm.
motions
The,
behind
yes,
it.
the motions behind it. Yes, but his sources were quite out of range, not as compared to his principal speaker. But in all, they did well. So
In
it's 22 out of 30. So for the motion, they had 45 out of 80, and then those against the motion had 47 out of 80.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Before I declare who won, I know that if you have your calculator, you've already done the maths, but then
Oh.
I would want to read some things.
Yes. Sorry. One last thing.
Okay.
No matter how the speeding is speeding. We don't have over speeding.
Okay.
As far as you are speeding, you are speeding.
speed,
So
Yeah.
saying over speeding is unnecessary. You will have more words. Describing it, but it is still speeding. So
Okay.
we prefer you saying speeding,
Speeding.
not over speeding.
Over speeding.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right. So Facebook comments. We have someone clapping for us. That is our general boss, Golden Boy, Joshua Inim. You know, he sent us an emoji clapping for us. Golden Boy, wherever you are, we greet you. We salute your majesty. We thank you for the airtime as well. And then we have Godfred Kwashigan Eza. I'm sure I've pronounced it right. He says, I'm doing the listening in Takrady, that is Beach Road. Philip Eden Kumsin. He says, the studio is really on fire. This is Silencer, and I'm really enjoying the
Wow.
program. Silencer. If not kept silent on Facebook. Okay, we have the Richie Praise also sending us an emoji clapping for us. We have Nana Kwame Frenzy. Also another emoji of Jay-Z clapping for us. You should know that we've gotten far. Even American people are clapping for us. All right. So all too soon, we've come to the end of this program. And then for today, those that won the motion that the accident being done, happening on our road should be blamed on the poor policing and not the indiscipline of road users. Those that won the motion for today are those that went. Let me remind our listeners that this program will come your way next week as well.
I like that.
Next week, Tuesday, same time from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And then your regular host will be here, Theophilus Etewanji. If I'm not here, you have a beautiful Jacqueline coming in here. All right, so the winner is... let me see. Okay, so those that won had 168, and of course, should I say those that came up second or those that came up last? It was just two. Okay, so one had 168 and then the other had 157. So those that won today's motion were those that went against the motion. Let us give it up for them. So the opposition bench won today's argument. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, men and women, boys and girls, those that are listening, those that are watching on Facebook, till next week, we say bye.
We love Radio Ultimate Lifestyle.
World's greatest.
I am a mountain. I am a tall tree. Oh, I am a swift wind sweeping the country. I am a river down in the valley. Oh, I am a vision, and I can see clearly. If anybody asks you who I am, just stand up tall, look them in the face and say, I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I made it, I'm the world's greatest, And I'm that little bit of hope when my back's against the ropes. I can feel it. I'm the world's greatest. The world's greatest, Joe. The world's greatest. Forever. I am a giant. I am an eagle. Oh, I am a lion. Down in the jungle. I am a marching band.